Welcome to episode 24. We are doing a pocket wellness this week. Trish breaks down polyvagal theory and how we can teach our bodies to better self regulate. Enjoy!
Welcome to the Wellness Empowerment Project. I'm Trish.
And I'm Julie. We are two nurses exploring holistic healing and wellness practices to empower you to be the leader of your own health. Join us as we try out new things, or as we call it, weird shit, and have some fun along the way.
Hello, and welcome to the Wellness Empowerment Project. This is Trish. Today, we are talking about perception, continuing it on our second episode of Pocket Wellness. We talked a lot about perception being based upon our past experiences, our personal beliefs, and how our nervous system is responding. When you look at all three of these factors, our past experiences and our personal beliefs can really shape how our nervous system responds to certain situations. So to get to the roots, nervous system regulation is a pretty important thing that we haven't really learned or been taught previously. The old belief system or the old model, when we talked about the nervous system, there was the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. Fight and flight was characterized by the sympathetic nervous system. Rest and digest characterized the parasympathetic nervous system. Both of these are really focused on the motor pathways. What we've learned is that's a very incomplete view of the nervous system as a whole. In recent years, Dr. Stephen Porges has developed polyvagal theory, which challenges this old belief model. Polyvagal theory focuses on the parasympathetic nervous system, which is comprised mostly of the sensory system. 80% of the neural fibers in the parasympathetic nervous system are sensory. We haven't previously talked about the sensory component. Historically, it's been very focused on the motor component, but these sensory neural fibers connects the organs to the brain, and they are connecting the organs to the brain above and below the diaphragm. Polyvagal theory is the theory that explains why so many different modalities are effective. It's used a lot to explain why yoga is a very effective modality, as with breath work, EFT, because instead of the historic mind going down to the body approach, polyvagal theory explains why the whole body up approach can be more effective for healing. So what is polyvagal theory? Focus specifically on our vagus nerve. The vagus nerve goes all the way from our brainstem all the way down and touches every single organ in our body. The vagus nerve is also known as the 10th cranial nerve. It runs also along the jawline and hits the facial nerves and structures. When we say every organ, we mean every organ. The heart, it's hitting areas of the lung, very much into the diaphragm, as well as goes all down into the digestive system, the digestive tract, small intestines, large intestines. But the vagus nerve is actually split up into two parts. We have the ventral vagal, which is the heart, the bronchi, which is a part of our lungs, the face and the head. That portion of the nervous system is myelinated. When something is myelinated, it basically helps speed up the rate of information. We previously talked about heart rate variability, and heart rate variability is mostly determined by the influences of the ventral vagal response. The other portion of the vagus nerve is the dorsal vagal, which is now the brainstem to the organs that are unmyelinated. This is the area that is below the diaphragm. So the connection pathways, because they're unmyelinated, aren't moving as fast or as strong as the myelinated pathways in the ventral vagal. But really, what does this mean? Other than the fact that, yes, this is our sensory areas are connected to our heart. One of the big pieces is that this really comes into play is the social engagement system. The social engagement system is really how we are all reacting and responding when we are having conversations and interactions with other people. It is primarily because of the vagus nerve and its connection to our facial expressions, our facial muscles, as well as our head. What this also means is the concept of co-regulation, which is a mutual regulation of physiological states, is really held in the premise of polyvagal theory, specifically looking at the ventral vagal nerve. So co-regulation, this truly can be used to help someone shift from a certain physiological state. In one of the yoga therapy training, we did this exercise where one person was acting very angry about something and trying to yell at the other person. The other person just sat there and did some long, deep breathing, just kept calm and just did long, deep breathing. What came out of that exercise is that the person that was yelling and upset eventually lost steam because the other person was so calm. We're able to change the regulation pattern of another person by how we are acting and responding. Now, the reason this is important is, yes, it's a great tool to help diffuse situations and people in real time using a co-regulation modality. With that said, as children, this is how we learn to self-regulate. We learn to self-regulate by the social engagement system, by seeing how adults and other people are acting and reacting with their facial expressions. If someone has an unhealthy way of responding to things, and I'll use a great example of anxiety. Anxiety isn't genetic. However, it can be a very learned behavior. If you are seeing someone as a child, as an adult, responding to situations with worry and anxiety, you're seeing it on their face. You are learning, your nervous system is learning that's actually how to respond. With the beauty of our nervous system is that we can also unlearn and create new neural pathways and learn to self-regulate ourselves into a healthy manner. This is what I think is absolutely amazing. Regardless of what's happened in the past, and regardless with how your nervous system is responding to events, we do have something called neuroplasticity, which means that we can actually change how our nervous system, how our body responds. We can teach ourselves to bring ourselves from a dysregulated state to a regulated state. But in order to do, we really need to get in tune with our body, get in tune with our mind, get clear of what it's telling us and how it's responding, because our nervous system also responds to specificity, which is we need to learn the right tools to shift our states appropriately with repetition and with learning our body in a safe environment. When these situations arise, we'll start to notice that our body is starting to respond in a different manner. We have increased the threshold for us to tolerate different events. When they do happen, we notice quickly how our body is responding and changing. Therefore, we know what we can do to help bring ourselves back into regulation. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed listening to this second episode of Pocket Wellness. Please let us know what you think in the comment or send us an email, and we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for joining. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow, subscribe, and share with a friend. Want to learn more about a specific topic? Drop us a line on our website and we can explore it deeper with you.